Mr. Speaker, I am indeed humbled as I rise in support of the appropriation of this estimate of revenue and expenditure for the period 2025-2026, put forward by the member for Castries East. Mr. Speaker, there is no question in any objective person's mind that youth and sports development in this country is heading in the right direction. And as factual as it is that there is no successful country or government with a failed prime minister, there is no success in youth and sports development without a minister of finance who gets it. Fact. And so, Mr. Speaker, we are gathered here today and we see the likes of the next generation in our midst. Mr. Speaker, first, our national swim team, they continue to impress onlookers at the Carifta level. Allow me to introduce you to them, Mr. Speaker. They included Tristan Dorville, who again medaled at this level, Mr. Speaker, and was part of the historic 4x1 team who ensured that for the first time, St. Lucia registered a gold medal in the relays, Mr. Speaker. Included Faith Jeffrey, Antoine Destang in swimming, Carrick Charles, Mr. Speaker, Faith Lubra, Noah Dorville, Jaden Zhu, Aaron Charles, Mr. Speaker, Ethan Hazel, and of course, Mr. Speaker, Sophia Parks. This year, the team brought home 13 medals, Mr. Speaker. 13 in swimming. Sophia Parks, in her first showing at Carifta, won 8 medals, Mr. Speaker. 8. Antoine Destang, a name we continue to hear over and over again, registered 3 medals, Mr. Speaker. Tristan Dorville, again in the medal count, former junior athlete of the year, Mr. Speaker, continuing to do his thing in swimming, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the sport of track and field has been transformed in St. Lucia forever. Fact. In 2023, we sent 9 athletes who qualified to compete at the Carifta Games in track and field. In 2024, we sent over 17 athletes. This year, Mr. Speaker, a record 22 athletes from St. Lucia met the qualifying standard to attend the Carifta Games in Trinidad and Tobago, the most in our history. So, Mr. Speaker, allow me to introduce this year's full team. J.D. Emmanuel from the community of Labrie, Destiny Snack, Gabriel Facey, Barbara Marie Maximin, Maya Landers, Isabella Emilia. In the under-20 girls category, Saisha Rogers, Naya Jules, Naomi London, Mr. Speaker, who qualified but was unable to make it, Deandra Isidore, Ricardo Mann, Tariq Plummer, Denzel Phillips, Jaquan Alexander, Omarion Edwin, Benika Mann, Ivan John, Laverne Jabatis, Ryan Simeon, Josiah Dupree, Micaiah Sobers, Jakim Raymond. Mr. Speaker, they were ably assisted by the officials, Mr. Cornelius Breen, who continues to volunteer his time, Mr. Speaker, to the sport of track and field. Ms. Denise Herman, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Titus Elier, Mr. Len Leos, Mrs. Martina James Shalry, long-time person in the sport, see her with a smile at every track event and at the VG field when they have the training sessions, and our former world-class Makiba Al-Cid, also part of that team, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, our athletes made us proud. Destiny Snack joined an illustrious group of girls, including Laverne Spencer and Janelle Shaper, who captured medals in the girls' high jump event, Mr. Speaker. Destiny cleared the bar at a personal best 1.68 meters to capture bronze at the event, and she is the one, Mr. Speaker, competing in just her fourth event, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Nia Jules equaled our national pole vault record of 3.0 meters as she captured silver at the Carifta event. Jules is, of course, currently on an athletic scholarship in the United States. But the queen on the track was Labrie's J.D. Emmanuel. Emmanuel took her place in St. Lucia's history forever, as she became the first ever individual, male or female, to win a gold medal in the sprint event at the Carifta Games. Emmanuel crossed the finish line in 11.50 seconds, surpassing Julian Alfred's national under-17 record. But this wasn't enough. The daughter of Cecilia Placid and James Emmanuel, she made history again by outclassing the Jamaicans and the Trinidadians and the Bajans and all of them to win gold in the 200 meters, Mr. Speaker. Registered a new national record in the process. As such, it is a fact that St. Lucia now has the fastest woman in the world, Julian Alfred, and the fastest under-17 female athlete in the Caribbean, J.D. Emmanuel. In fact, Mr. Speaker, if we look closely at what's happening in track and field in St. Lucia, we currently have 2 young girls in the top 5 sprinters in the region at the under-19 level, when we include Naomi London, who held out due to injury at this Carifta Games. If you know Naomi London, a proud individual from Viewfort North, you know she is chopping at the bits to get back out there and continue her journey of excellence. So, Mr. Speaker, with this Prime Minister, with this Minister of Youth Development and Sport, along with this Cabinet of Ministers, rest assured, we will be making investment in these athletes to ensure even more success, and we guarantee there will be no lull in attending to this, Mr. Speaker. As I sat back, Mr. Speaker, and I listened to the presentation made by the Honorable Prime Minister on this year's estimates, I believe that there is so much in there for the young people of St. Lucia and our athletes that he can indeed set all in motion. He can do like all young people are doing in the dance halls and on playing fields, on parties all over. He can cover his face with his 2 hands and he can shake it to the max, Mr. Speaker.
I want to see that.
And the member from Barbados says she wants to see that. What has been presented for youth and sports development by this Prime Minister can cause all to do the dance and be happy that their future is bright with this St. Lucia Labour Party government, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, all the time. When we look at the estimates and we pay close attention to what happened in 2024, we have no doubt that 2025 shapes up to be an even better year. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, we took the bold step that we as a government would invest in Julian Alfred. We saw what she did, Mr. Speaker, and we remember under the member for Denry North that while she attended school in Jamaica, that he attempted to put things in place for her, a process that when we demeted office was stopped. But this St. Lucia Labour Party government, being a people-centered government, ensured that nearly $250,000 was placed in the budget to ensure the transition from the collegiate circuit into the professional circuit for Julian Alfred. And I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. During that time, Julian Alfred worked hard. She worked tirelessly, Mr. Speaker. She persevered. She went through the trials and tribulations. But this government ensured that on a monthly basis, that she was given the financial support to pay for physiotherapy, to pay for mental training, to pay for whatever personal needs she had, so that she had only one job. Only one job. Go out there and perform to the best of your ability. And so, Mr. Speaker, we saw what happened, Mr. Speaker, at the Olympic Games. St. Lucia rose to the top through our sensation from the community of Cicero in Castries South, first ever gold and silver Olympic medal. And so, Mr. Speaker, we can say to our athletes that if you do your part, with this government of St. Lucia, we'll certainly provide the support for you. And I'll get into that a little bit later. What else happened in 2024, 2025? Mr. Speaker, as the Minister of Youth Development and Sport, we ensured that for the first time in St. Lucia's history, we instituted a high-performance center for cricket, Mr. Speaker. We knew what we saw over the years. Darren Sammy, Johnson Charles, Zeta James, Kiana Joseph, Gary Maffre, and a list of others showed that truly St. Lucia has what it takes to produce world-class cricketers. But never before did we have a strategic high-performance center. Mr. Speaker, we identified a problem. Most of our cricketers, when they left secondary school, or they competed at under 19 levels, they went into the work world and had to balance the rigors of cricket development, their work, and sometimes their families. We identified the problem, Mr. Speaker. And so we said, let us provide a high-performance center so that these individuals have an additional option. They have the option of being compensated at the end of the month and being part of a program that will provide mental training, the physical training, and of course, Mr. Speaker, the talent identification to push them forward. And so, Mr. Speaker, we instituted the High Performance Center. We currently have 18 players, Mr. Speaker, in the High Performance Center. We have 2 females, Mr. Speaker, Nerissa Crafton, Selena Ross, and of course, there's a process of graduation. The likes of Zeta James now has a full contract with West Indies, Kiana Joseph, full contract with West Indies, and so they've graduated and moved on to the professional. But, Mr. Speaker, I will say to the National Lotteries and this team that we must ensure that we have more women in this high performance center. We must. 16 males, Mr. Speaker. 3 development players, including Kensley Paul, Isaiah Jones, and Bolton Sayers, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we provide each of these individuals with a stipend of $1,500 at the end of every month, Mr. Speaker. At the end of every month. Mr. Speaker, some of these individuals are still participating in the work world, but they have as an option an additional $1,500 to go towards improving who they are as athletes, Mr. Speaker. And I'm very happy that the member for Choiseul walked in, Mr. Speaker, because we will be discussing why it is that an honest document that has shown unemployment at its lowest level can additionally show that individuals seem to be doing other things, Mr. Speaker. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Mr. Speaker, 11 of those players, male and female, are actively involved in regional and international cricket for the first time, the most in St. Lucia's history, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in 2024-2025, boxing development continued in this country, Mr. Speaker. Boxing as a sport has shown the ability to instill discipline in young people. And as such, Mr. Speaker, we continued our development in the South and in the North, Mr. Speaker. Our Cuban coach, along with Mr. David Shakes Christopher, Mr. Speaker, and Conrad Fredericks, continue to instill discipline in young people through boxing. And as such, boxing and chess continue to be the fastest developing sports in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. The numbers show it. More parents are sending their young ones to these programs. And as a result, we have something to be proud of as Noah Didier continues to do his thing and put St. Lucia on the map in the sport of boxing in the region. Mr. Speaker, sometimes I have brief moments of reflection, and I stop as a young minister and ask what was going on in sports development during the reign of the United Workers' Party, Mr. Speaker. Because we've seen cricket splash throughout St. Lucia. We saw for years that a young man was struggling to put together a semblance of compensation for cricketers in St. Lucia. But it took this Prime Minister, along with this team, to finally invest in semi-professional cricket in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. Yo te la pou sek l'année, yo pate fe. Not one level of support of substance to a semi-professional cricket league. Not even mentioned. Despite the fact that you could walk all around this country, from birth, cricket is played in every corner. Tape ball cricket, Mr. Speaker, Wule Laba, many of us would have played it. No investment in semi-professional cricket. It took this government to invest nearly $700,000 in player compensation for the semi-professional cricket league, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in 2024-2025, we again as a ministry did the analysis, Mr. Speaker, because sports is all-encompassing. And if you look at our athletes, St. Lucia historically seemed to produce slimmer, slender, more frail-looking athletes. But when we beat them on the track, we beating them. That's the history of St. Lucia. But, Mr. Speaker, we knew that we had to invest in strength training. And if you took some time and went to the Mindo Phillip Park, you will see what passed off as a gym for athletes. You would see videos of Julian Alfred when she's in St. Lucia with the most rusty of gym equipments. This government invested $1.2 million in strength training in our athletes, Mr. Speaker. And very soon, Mr. Speaker, we'll be cutting the ribbon at a brand new Mindo Phillip Park gym. And we've already cut the ribbon, Mr. Speaker, at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium, where our athletes can be involved in strengthening themselves and giving even more licks at the regional and international level. Mr. Speaker, yo pate fei. They did nothing about strengthening our athletes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it was this government, under the stewardship of the member for Castries East. Mr. Speaker, sometimes when you hear the opposition speak, you would swear they were not in government and they didn't make certain pronouncements. They promised to remove VAT from 15% and bring it all the way down to 12, not to remove it. They said they were bringing it down to 12, and then they were going to remove it. Initially, they said they were completely removing that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we saw a period where sporting equipment in this country the cost of it continued to rise year after year after year. They promised to completely remove that. Mr. Speaker, can you believe? Not even on sporting equipment, 1% of that was removed, Mr. Speaker. 2%, 3%, 0.5%. It took this government to come in and feel the plight of our young athletes and completely remove that on sporting equipment for them. Completely. Mr. Speaker, yo te là pour sec l'année. Yo pâté fait. Mr. Speaker, we have associations that have been trying to set up the secretariats because you need a place where you have, a little meeting room so that the association, the president, the executive can actually meet, Mr. Speaker, to get things done strategically for our athletes. Mr. Speaker, they keep talking about taxes, but it was this government who came in and completely removed property taxes on the backs of any sporting secretariat in this country, Mr. Speaker. And so now the Olympic Committee office that is in Leclerc, no worry, moving forward as it pertains to property tax. Mr. Speaker, yo te là pour sec l'année. Yo pâté fait.
Speaker.
Member for Swazelle, my apologies.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it took me a little while to respond on a point of order, but the member is misleading the House when he indicates that the last administration did nothing as it relates to assist in the sporting fraternity. Mr. Speaker, as I've mentioned before, we amended the Finance Act to ensure that people who were bringing in sporting and recreational services were going to get duty-free at the ports. At least they continued with the VAT, but we did, Mr. Speaker, commence and we amended the Finance Act to adjust a number of disciplines, and sporting and recreational services was one of them, where we removed income duty. Thank you.
Member for Grizzly.
Mr. Speaker, another desperate attempt, Mr. Speaker, to derail the fact that they were there for 5 years and many of the promises that they made, many of the things they promised and they tried to vegle people, they did not do it, Mr. Speaker. And now, Mr. Speaker, we are in, Mr. Speaker, I'll move on. Because this small token, very small tokens that they gave to athletes, while sports was on autopilot in terms of the substance of developing youth and sports, remained as a non-priority for the previous government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we also saw, Mr. Speaker, significant investment, Mr. Speaker, in sport for the Taiwanese government. Very happy to say that we were able to get almost $500,000 in sporting equipment that we distributed, Mr. Speaker, throughout St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. Don't worry, I come into that. Don't worry, come into that. And so, Mr. Speaker, the investment was made to the Ministry of Youth Development and Sport. And for every single association, there's a mechanism in place, an application process based on the needs in the community to strategically get in there and get access to sporting equipment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, while they try to espouse some of the very little tokens that they gave to sports development, Mr. Speaker, this government, with this Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, with the experience of a member for Castries North, and a load of experience in sports from the member from Castries South, and a former minister from Denry North, Mr. Speaker. It was this government who saw the need not to just give little tokens here and there, but to establish semi-professional football in this country, Mr. Speaker. Stand on a point of order. Stand. Semi-professional football. And when a member can now decide, member from Choiseul, can now go to the economic review and speak to low labor force participation, it means he hasn't understood. He has not understood what this Minister of Finance has done to transform St. Lucia forever, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there were young men who decided, I have talent in football. So instead of me taking my talent, pushing it on the side, and going and try and see if I can tile somewhere, or going and try and see if I can be a little carpenter somewhere, I have a government now that has invested in my skill. And so now I am going to play semi-professional football. You pass a coupon, sir, Mr. Speaker. They cannot understand the symbiosis of governance in this country, Mr. Speaker. They cannot understand how policies change an entire nation, Mr. Speaker. And so the member for Choiseul is talking about labor force. I don't even finish with that yet. Mr. Speaker, we instituted semi-professional football, Mr. Speaker. And so it was our first year, Mr. Speaker. Lots of glitches, Mr. Speaker. A lot to learn from, Mr. Speaker. But we as a government, Mr. Speaker, we continue to do our best to continue to nurture those young men, Mr. Speaker, and get them off the streets, Mr. Speaker. Not tokenism, real youth and sports development, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, St. Lucia became the first country, the first English-speaking country in the entire Caribbean to host a CONCACAF Congress, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I don't even know if the opposition understands the nature of that fact. Mr. Speaker, for you to host a Congress of that magnitude, and to host the likes of FIFA President, Mr. Speaker, Gianni Infantino, they have to do a full investigation of your entire landscape. A full investigation. Do you have the room stock? Do you have proper conference areas? Are you able to fund? Is your economy in a particular state that ensures that all the logistics are taken care of? Mr. Speaker, St. Lucia, the small island of St. Lucia that I am a product of, Mr. Speaker. We didn't need to bring anybody from any other country to show us how to host a Congress. We had all the potential in the world right here in St. Lucia. And we hosted a successful CONCACAF Congress, Mr. Speaker, right here in St. Lucia. And Mr. Speaker, I saw the Honorable Prime Minister shaking hands with Infantino and whispering that he's a Manchester United fan. And I could have sworn I heard Infantino say, just so? And so, Mr. Speaker, we continue to develop in every facet of sports development, Mr. Speaker. In 2024, Mr. Speaker, we also hosted the ICC Cricket World Cup, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the story of the Cricket World Cup would take an hour to explain the time frame with which this happened. Mr. Speaker, Cricket West Indies made a request for countries to host the World Cup. Again, anybody with knowledge of hosting would know that a total investigation of all the logistics would be done as to whether or not you can be a host. And of course, when they visited St. Lucia, they indicated to St. Lucia that the Darren Sammy Stadium, while it was a good stadium, needed to be upgraded, updated, for the technology that would be needed to host this event, Mr. Speaker. And so, when they came out with their list of what was required, countries like Jamaica backed out. Dominica decided they were hosting. Then they came back and said, we don't have the economic power right now to do it. St. Kitts. Mr. Speaker, this government looked at what was needed. We saw the investment, and we had the holistic view of the entire country as it pertained to not just cricket, but sports and facility development. And so, Mr. Speaker, we took the bold decision that we were going to host the Cricket World Cup, and that we are going to help the National Lotteries Authority by guaranteeing a loan that would develop the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds into a world-class stadium, develop the Mindu Philip Park that was ignored for 5+ years because of a particular doctrine, Mr. Speaker. And we would finally be able to do something at the Grosley playing field, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, yes, 6 years, I stand corrected. And so, Mr. Speaker, the initial investment was to develop these free facilities. Oh, and oh, then you started hearing the cry. Only Bindu Philip Park, only Darren Sammy. You spent all guesstimating and saying things all over the place, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, St. Lucia put on one of the best displays for that entire Cricket World Cup, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a light display that you can only go to India and see was right here in Grosley, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Mindu Philip Park, Mr. Speaker, brand new lights, Mr. Speaker, better facilities at the Mindu Philip Park, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I always invite everybody to come to the most beautiful place on earth and take a trip to the Grosley Mini Stadium and see the works that we put in at the Grosley Mini Stadium. Just take some time. It's not very far. And Mr. Speaker, they went all over because every time they see something good is happening for St. Lucia, they feel like they must speak against it in some way, shape, or form, Mr. Speaker. They don't like it. They are the enemy of progress. So they go to Darren Sammy only and they say, $80 million and this. And then they go to Grosley and they say, $80 million and this. They go to Mindu Philip Park and say, $80 million on this. But here's what's going to happen. They're going to have to go to the Auger playing field, the Piero playing field, the Wen playing field. Mr. Speaker, I don't reach here. The Bexar playing field, Mr. Speaker. They will have to go to 12 different venues, Mr. Speaker. The Leclerc playing field, Mr. Speaker. I get there yet. You're brushing me. Relax. Mr. Speaker, to see the investment that this government is making on transforming the entire sporting landscape in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we then hosted the Caribbean Premier League, Mr. Speaker, and we had the likes of John Eugene, Mr. Speaker, join the coaching staff. Of course, head coach Darren Sammy. Johnson Charles continued to do his thing. We saw Akibo Geese, Mr. Speaker. Shadrach Descat, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, for the first time, St. Lucia Kings, champions of the Caribbean Premier League, Mr. Speaker. Champions. Mr. Speaker, there's an argument as to whether or not is the Honorable Prime Minister that just have a Midas touch that makes sure that everything we do, we win. Or if it is the Minister of Sports that just seem to have that deal. Mr. Speaker, in 2024-2025, we won, Mr. Speaker, again, the volleyball championships, the OECS women. Mr. Speaker, our women continue to do us proud, Mr. Speaker. Champions in volleyball, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we also realized that the sum total of individuals, young people involved in things that were not necessarily cricket and football and track and field and basketball, that these individuals were left behind. And so, Mr. Speaker, we ensured that we put in place an alternative sports sector, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, now you're seeing, Mr. Speaker, better organized darts competition, drag racing, dominoes, Mr. Speaker, shooting, Mr. Speaker, sport shooting, Mr. Speaker, and of course, chess. Membership for chess, very close to 500 young individuals in the sport of chess in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. Unheard of before this government, Mr. Speaker. While I'm at it, let me say congratulations to Dr. Sixtus Gabriel, Justin James. They were newly confirmed as candidate masters in the sport of chess, Mr. Speaker. And we continue to rise, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, we will continue to do what we need to do to support the alternative sports sector. It is not easy, but we will do the hard work that we need to do to continue to develop alternative sports. Mr. Speaker, in 2024-2025, we realize that we need to develop our young people not just on the playing field, but we need to give them another opportunity to develop personally. And so, Mr. Speaker, we partnered with the Taiwanese government and we instituted for the first time in St. Lucia's history. They were there for 5 years, you know. For the first time in St. Lucia's history, a sport program. The sport program was in collaboration with the National Skills Development Program Center, so that young athletes who may have gone through the CXC process and not succeeded, may have started a program and not succeeded, they can go to the NSDC and reskill for the first time. Go to NSDC and learn basic mechanics, learn basic massage therapy. And so, Mr. Speaker, 50 sportsmen and women, Mr. Speaker, ages 16 to 35 years, that's the concept, Mr. Speaker. Employability training provided to them, first aid, hospitality, massage therapy, agriculture, internship opportunities, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, when again the member for Choiseul speaks about labor force participation.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Member for Choiseul Southwest.
Mr. Speaker, again, the member is misleading the House. The member has indicated for the first time NSDC has produced skill training or upskill training. That is not true. NSDC has been providing skill training for decades, Mr. Speaker.
Is that what he said, member?
Mr. Speaker.
I didn't hear him say that.
Mr. Speaker, I'll say it again. For the first time in St. Lucia's history, a program was developed with the NSDC for individuals participating specifically in sports who may have not gotten all the CXCs and the Sir Lewis qualifications to now go back and reskill through the NSDC, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, they had no ideas. They had no ideas. Mr. Speaker, we continue our high-performance program for our young footballers. We had the likes of Coach Stuart Charles and Ball Hog, Mr. Speaker, Earl Ball Hog Ja, in St. Lucia, after their professional lives in Trinidad, came back to this country, and the Honorable Prime Minister, along with the national lotteries, engaged them so that they can take the next generation of footballers, the younger ones, to the next level in that sport, Mr. Speaker. That sport continues to yield good results, and we're very satisfied with the progress, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when I move on, we continue to institute the Elite and Emerging Athlete Program, Mr. Speaker. A program, Mr. Speaker, that we definitely need to go back to the drawing board and ensure that there is even more financing, considering the fact that we are increasing the amount of elite and emerging athletes in this country, Mr. Speaker. I will come to that a little later on. We continue our field maintenance program, Mr. Speaker, and of course, training for these individuals, Mr. Speaker, will be provided this financial year to ensure that they better maintain our playing surfaces, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we had also our sports awards, Mr. Speaker, recognizing our top athletes, and again, a program very well instituted by the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports. Mr. Speaker, in the sport of table tennis, for the first time, Mr. Speaker, they don't like to hear that, Pan American Youth Games, we have a contingent that has qualified, Mr. Speaker. Congratulations to Manny Elite, Joshua. Manny Elite is from the constituency of Grusley. Yes. Piat. LeSean Francis, Stephen Steele. Mr. Speaker, despite what was espoused by the opposition, I just cannot understand how a group of individuals who want to come into the governance of this country, re-enter the actual governance of this country, can just take one news report from an individual that they purport. He's not a card-carrying member of the St. Lucia Labour Party. He's never been. One news report and go all over the world and say there is no school sports in St. Lucia. They didn't call the ministry, they didn't investigate, while in their doorsteps, some of them with balconies overlooking the playing field, school sports is happening. Mr. Speaker, here's what happened. The Ministry of Youth Development and Sports is a very small ministry. The individual who is in charge of mobilizing for school sports had a special circumstance which disallowed her from being at work. All the ministry did was move certain disciplines, because we had a staffing issue, and two other individuals were not there, into the next term. Mr. Speaker, they went all over. And they have the gall, the temerity, to actually say school sports started after they made the pronouncement, which is a blatant untruth, Mr. Speaker, blatant. But I can announce to St. Lucia that every single sporting discipline was held in school sports in that financial year, Mr. Speaker. All of them. All. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we had Island Champs. Another novel idea by this government in terms of the implementation on the weekends in Soufrière, Mr. Speaker. We had inter-district primary. We had road race, Mr. Speaker. We had netball. We had football. We had cricket. We had basketball, Mr. Speaker. We had volleyball, Mr. Speaker. We had chess, Mr. Speaker. So, irresponsible pronouncements, Mr. Speaker, knowing the truth and ignoring it. Mr. Speaker, in the year 2024, we made a number of infrastructural investments, Mr. Speaker, and we have a lot of ongoing projects, Mr. Speaker. We did, Mr. Speaker, the Darren Sammy Cricket Grounds, as I mentioned. We did some work on the Philip Masley Grounds, Mr. Speaker, as well, Mr. Speaker, and so we saw semi-professional cricket there. Mr. Speaker, we still have work to do on one of the roofs, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Bellevue playing field, Mr. Speaker, we continued work at the Bellevue playing field. Mr. Speaker, the Wen playing field is coming on nicely, and so we are about to work on the surface. We see the lights. Mr. Speaker, you can see from a very long distance at the Wen playing field, Mr. Speaker. The crossover park in Labrie, we continue to do that work there, Mr. Speaker. Mindo Philip Park, which was ignored for a very long time, Mr. Speaker. We've done work at the Mindo Philip Park, yet still you can do yeah, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Grand Riviere playing field, Mr. Speaker. We've done some work at the Grand Riviere playing field. We're getting ready to reopen the Grand Riviere playing field. We did some work on the surface. We did some lights, Mr. Speaker. And on the outside, I need to tell the people of Grand Riviere we're not blocking off the entire field. We are thinking in the future. We've created some advertising bays that would allow people to advertise, and that finances goes straight into the maintenance of the Grand Riviere playing field, Mr. Speaker. Same concept used, Mr. Speaker, in as many playing fields as we can in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Grosley playing field, Mr. Speaker.
Member for Grosley, you have 15 minutes left.
Mr. Speaker, the Otago Court, Mr. Speaker. We've done some work on the Otago Court, Mr. Speaker, and we've not done the ribbon cutting, but we will do it very, very soon, as we had to get the electrical permits, Mr. Speaker. The Canries playing field, Mr. Speaker. We've done some work on the Canries playing field, Mr. Speaker. The VG playing field, It's not a far drive. I want to let the people from Central Castries know that they will not be blocked from seeing what's happening in football matches on the field, Mr. Speaker. The design ensures that, Mr. Speaker. The Cicero playing field, the honorable member has partnered and has put in a lot of resources from his CDP, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that the Cicero playing field is transformed, Mr. Speaker, sitting, Mr. Speaker, with a toilet facility, Mr. Speaker, with lights, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, he understands what it is in sports development, the partnership with the national lotteries to get this done, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Masha grounds, Mr. Speaker, we saw what Masha grounds was before, Mr. Speaker. We need to show that before. That's before. This is the after, Mr. Speaker. We had an issue for years in Masha where individuals were able to punch and destroy the galvanized, Mr. Speaker. We've raised the bar, Mr. Speaker, in Masha, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the Honorable Prime Minister, under his insistence, ensured that it was done for the people of Masha, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we continue, Mr. Speaker, in terms of our sporting development. Mr. Speaker, concrete work has started, Mr. Speaker, on our National Aquatic Center, Mr. Speaker. And we are looking to move full speed ahead, Mr. Speaker, as we continue to develop that sport, Mr. Speaker. And so the upcoming projects for 2024-2025, Mr. Speaker, much of it using the $80 million loan guarantee, Mr. Speaker. We have 90 playing fields in this country, Mr. Speaker. 129 courts in this island, Mr. Speaker. There's only so many you can actually do, Mr. Speaker. But work continues in partnership with lotteries, with the Grand Ravine playing field, Mr. Speaker. The Auger playing field will be given lights this financial year, Mr. Speaker. The Philip Master ground roof, Mr. Speaker, will be repaired. The Clary playing field stands, Mr. Speaker, and the washroom, Mr. Speaker. The Dennery washrooms come in, Mr. Speaker. They had no stands for the people, Mr. Speaker, in Dennery. We have given them stands. We are going to cordon off the stands so it protects us from the rain, and we are giving them their washroom facility, Mr. Speaker. The Deborah playing field in the constituency of Barbono, Mr. Speaker, and we continue works, Mr. Speaker, on the Lager playing field, Mr. Speaker. For court sports, we will be doing some work on the Bosejo indoor facility to make it more comfortable through air conditioning units, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Gardens Court in Central Castries, work is scheduled to start in the coming weeks, if not next week, Mr. Speaker. We've seen the VG playing field. The Labon Court, Mr. Speaker, is one we look forward to in the constituency of Grosley. The Piero playing field, Bexar playing field, Leon Hess playing field, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we've always spoken about the culture of sports in St. Lucia. But it's very difficult to change the culture of sports in St. Lucia if people do not understand the sports development paradigm that the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports is instituting, Mr. Speaker, instituting. Mr. Speaker, sports development in St. Lucia is a pyramid, Mr. Speaker. And this is the model that we are using. At the foundation of the pyramid, Mr. Speaker, is grassroots, Mr. Speaker. And so people often ask, how do I get involved in sports? You can come at the grassroots. The grassroots is for everybody. The young children, Mr. Speaker, on the fields, Mr. Speaker, participating in different little, drills, Mr. Speaker. It includes the general public, beginners, especially children, allows to introduce basic skills, encourage mass participation in the communities, Mr. Speaker. Participation is the next level, Mr. Speaker. You have recreational athletes, Mr. Speaker, engaging in regular but not too competitive activities, Mr. Speaker. Sorry. Mr. Speaker, you have regular involvement in sport retention, Mr. Speaker, weekly football leagues. Again, all of St. Lucia can get involved in this, Mr. Speaker. As you go higher up, the performance level, Mr. Speaker. This is where you focus on athletes showing their talent and commitment. You provide advanced training, competitive opportunities to develop skills. You have regional academies, talent identifications. You have inter-school competitions, Mr. Speaker, at the performance level, Mr. Speaker. This is where we need more participation, Mr. Speaker, more people getting involved. And then, of course, we have the elite athletes, Mr. Speaker, some of which are in our midst, that we provide government support for, Mr. Speaker, as they go to the Olympics level, Mr. Speaker, and beyond, Mr. Speaker. And so we are expecting more and more people to get involved. Mr. Speaker, there are some key policy investments that we are going to make, Mr. Speaker. in 2025, 2026. One of them is a consultancy for the development of alumni associations at all schools, Mr. Speaker, in this country. For us to develop our product, we must get people involved in sports that are not necessarily of sports backgrounds. So from HES, the individual who has some HR experience, some PR experience, bringing them in to develop the product in the school, Mr. Speaker. And so North, South, East, and West will make that investment so we can have an even better inter-school program, Mr. Speaker. Injury Management Fund. And this is very important for our athletes, Mr. Speaker. Again, we never had an actual injury management program for athletes in St. Lucia. All of us know an individual that had talent and skill and had one injury, and that was it. Mr. Speaker, with the national lotteries, Mr. Speaker, we are going to put this fund together, Mr. Speaker, just like a sovereign wealth fund, Mr. Speaker, make monthly contributions. So if any of these athletes get injured, Mr. Speaker, there's a mechanism, there's a form to fill out, there's a process for them to manage the injuries, Mr. Speaker. Tell them stand up and say they were doing that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in our youth department, Mr. Speaker, we continue to invest in our youth service corps, Mr. Speaker. Our young individuals, Mr. Speaker, who continue to go throughout the length and breadth of St. Lucia to provide support for young people, Mr. Speaker. 42 young people within the educational and public institutions are employed, Mr. Speaker. We have youth workers, Mr. Speaker, who continue to do the best that they can. We're certainly hoping for more collaboration, Mr. Speaker, with as many of the parliamentary representatives and stakeholders to continue this, Mr. Speaker. Under the youth department, Mr. Speaker, we instituted Youth Parliament, again, Mr. Speaker, to give young people an opportunity to speak, to come out here, Mr. Speaker, and show some public speaking skills, do some research, be intellectually sound, Mr. Speaker. Again, a very well executed event. Thanks to Mr. Speaker and his staff for assisting with this, Mr. Speaker. We also held, Mr. Speaker, successful youth awards, Mr. Speaker. 24 young, vibrant individuals, Mr. Speaker, were recipients of prestigious awards. Mr. Speaker, again, very well done by the ministry with stakeholders, a small ministry, but getting it done, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, elections matter. The Why We program, Mr. Speaker, that was funded, Mr. Speaker, by the US government, Mr. Speaker. We started work in communities, Mr. Speaker, to help fight against gender-based violence and interpersonal violence. But we saw what happened in the US. An election was held, Mr. Speaker, and that program scrapped by the government in the US. And so we continue to seek funding to ensure that we put this very worthwhile activity together, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there's so much more that we've done over the last year, Mr. Speaker. The U report from the OECS, Mr. Speaker. This is a digital platform designed by UNICEF to engage young people in program priorities, emergency response and advocacy actions, Mr. Speaker. It supports adolescents, young people, Mr. Speaker. It breeds community participation, works as a tool to share information and raise awareness, Mr. Speaker. It also ensures that we collect quantifiable data on what's happening with our young people, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, with OECS, we continue to partner with the U report, Mr. Speaker. And of course, the platform is there for young people to access, Mr. Speaker. Also, the YAN, the Youth Advisory Network, we continue to work with the OECS, Mr. Speaker. 2 young individuals from each country, Mr. Speaker, continues to be part of that program, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Oasis Opportunities to Advance and Support Youth for Success, Mr. Speaker, is another program that is very, very important, Mr. Speaker. Young people need to get involved as much as possible.
Member, you have 5 minutes left. No government business.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to move that Standing Orders 32-8 be suspended to allow the honorable member at least half an hour to complete his presentation.
Honorable members, the question is that Standing Order 32.8 be suspended and Standing Order 32.10 be implemented to allow the member for Grosley an additional 30 minutes in which to complete his presentation. And now for the question, as many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Please proceed, member.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I haven't spoken about Rosalie. Mr. Speaker, the Oasis, Mr. Speaker, opportunity to advance and support youth success, Mr. Speaker, is a very important program, Mr. Speaker, with the OECS, Mr. Speaker. And, Mr. Speaker, the overarching goal is to build on the juvenile justice reform project, Mr. Speaker. And it is to transform the youth justice system to provide opportunities for diversion, rehabilitation, alternative forms of that, Mr. Speaker, for youth in conflict with the law. And so that program continues for young people between the ages of 10 to 29, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there were certain things said, Mr. Speaker, by the member of Chozel Saltibus, Mr. Speaker, in his presentation that I found extremely curious, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, allow me to provide some clarity, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I came to this honorable House some time ago and ensured that I made this a document of the House of what happened in July 2021. A document was signed on the eve of an election to change the terms and conditions of a contract, Mr. Speaker, with Cage as it pertained to license fees. Mr. Speaker, as a result of that contract signed by the previous, Mr. Speaker, authority, Mr. Speaker, the amount that we were getting in license fees from Cage decreased. And these license fees are the same fees we use to provide support to these athletes, Mr. Speaker. These license fees. These license fees are used for when President Dora sends an application for a national team to travel. These license fees allows us to decide how many can travel based on what comes in the coffers. Based on their agreement, Mr. Speaker, that percentage went down, Mr. Speaker. I came to this honorable House, I made it a document of the House, Mr. Speaker. This same document, signed in July 2021, on the eve of an election, allowed Cage to pay no taxes, Mr. Speaker. It said from that document that even VAT, Mr. Speaker, I made it a document of this House, Mr. Speaker. And so, when Cage, because you need that clarity, had to upgrade some of their gambling devices, they brought in everything they had to, and they have a right to. They are a business. They did nothing that they were not given the authority to by the previous administration. And every single tax that was supposed to be paid, they made the justification for it not to be based on that agreement. And so, Mr. Speaker, I took it to the Cabinet of Ministers. They understood what was required for young people to represent us at Carifta and at the World Championships. The bloodline of the athletic development reduced. And so this government said, based on the amount of fees that have been forgone, we are making a contribution tantamount to that amount. So when you ask how is a government putting that money in, it is a government that understands we need to breed more J.D. Emmanuels, Mr. Speaker. And that's a fact. Mr. Speaker, the member for Chozel brought up batting cages, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I always feel like I can have sidebars with members of this House. On any side. On any side, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want the member of Choiseul to stand and rise and say that he doesn't get a proportion of every ticket that is given for constituencies to attend sporting events at the Daransami. I ask him to rise on a point of order and look at this honorable house and me in the face and say, when we have Cricket World Cup, he and the member for Miku South don't get a text message from this Minister of Youth and Sports indicating a quantum of tickets is available for you to provide to your constituents. I don't know if they want me to make texts a document at the house. Check it. Check it. Check it. Mr. Speaker, this was not done. These courtesies were not given to members of this party that were on the opposite side, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's a fact. Mr. Speaker, at every juncture, and I can say to the member for Miku South that they have sent individuals from his office to collect tickets from the Ministry of Youth Development and Sport. I'm coming to that. So, Mr. Speaker, batting nets, Mr. Speaker. The National Lotteries received a quantum of batting nets, Mr. Speaker. And to this day, Grosile has not installed their batting nets, Mr. Speaker. Castries South, Soufre, Labrie, Beaufort North, and Surrey, Canries, Mr. Speaker. I said to the honorable member, we are putting things in place, considering the amount of work going on in this country. We are putting things in place, but we have not gotten to the point of installing batting nets. I said to the member in that sidebar, but you are free at any point in time to collect from the national lotteries on behalf of your people. On behalf of your people. It is available. We have not installed. After this budget, we will, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there was something else said, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the member for Choiseul said CXC fees. I wonder if it was a sidebar, but he made mention of CXC fees for maths and English, and then moving towards additional ones, and suggesting that somehow we should stagger and qualify who gets those fees, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the surface, that might make sense to some people, because some people may indicate that perhaps Capes State families can pay all the CXCs. But, Mr. Speaker, as the member for Grosile, I do not succumb to those perspectives. Mr. Speaker, after the passage of the November 6th trough and certain activities unforeseen, Mr. Speaker, I got requests from all of Grosile, including Capes State, including Monnier, including Rodney Bay and Rodney Heights, for just a little support. So when you suggest irresponsibly that we should, when we give in payments for CXC fees, that certain people can afford it, I totally disagree. That's on one point. I totally disagree because of the cost of implementing who gets what, Mr. Speaker. You're shooting yourself in the foot, Mr. Speaker. For you to go and administer a proximity test on all households with children about to sit CXCs, to find out if to pay for the CXCs, it becomes more expensive, Mr. Speaker. So why suggest that this government do that? But, Mr. Speaker, you know what? That is crazy. They were there for 5 years, went into the 6th year, and they didn't pay one CXC, Mr. Speaker. There was no program to pay maths and English, Mr. Speaker. This government has come in, is paying maths and English, and has now said to the young people of this country that if you're doing a foreign language and if you're doing a science, that we are going to pay it for you. The only retort is, paid for some, not all, because not all need it. But you did it for nobody. Mr. Speaker, ça n'a jamais compensé. They did it for nobody, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the member for Choiseul Salt purported
Mr. Speaker,
that
you seem distracted today.
Well, I didn't figure there was anything said there that required a rebuttal, but please proceed, Member for Choiseul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, while the member, he's misleading because he's very selective in what he chooses to say as what my contribution yesterday. The bigger point I was also making, Mr. Speaker, was that there are families who cannot afford any CXC payments, and then the government should look, not just to give in additional, but to also look at the families who cannot pay anything, because from my constituency, there are times when people come to me where they can't pay anything, and that was the bigger point I was trying to raise, Mr. Speaker.
Please proceed, Member for Grizzly.
Mr. Speaker, this is why I know I am part of the best government that St. Lucia can have at this present moment, Mr. Speaker. Because I can stand proudly as a member for Grosley and say that the Prime Minister provides finances under the constituency development programs for these very people. These very people. And these members on opposite get the finances for these same people, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, he's standing on a point of order to provide clarity, to show St. Lucia the difference between these two governments, Mr. Speaker. Because, Mr. Speaker, a proxy means test, Mr. Speaker, can be administered for these same individuals to provide more support than the four subjects, Mr. Speaker. But we are saying to suggest that you only give after is irresponsible, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I'm very, very proud to have provided payments to CXCs, sometimes 7, sometimes 8, for members from my constituency. I wish. So, Mr. Speaker, this member suggested that the St. Lucia Labour Party is a government that has stopped projects. Mr. Speaker, he had the temerity, he had the unmitigated gall to stand up in this House and say that, Mr. Speaker. I recall, Mr. Speaker, the Royal Jail, Mr. Speaker, in Central Castries, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, his government just came and totally destroyed with no plan after the fact. Or if the plan was after the fact, it was somewhere unregistered, Mr. Speaker. No planning approval. Totally ignored the individuals that are charged with the responsibility of managing what's been there for St. Lucia. And totally destroyed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the government, the previous government, Mr. Speaker, that came in and found plans for building a Grosley Northern Divisional Headquarters, Mr. Speaker. They came in and found the plans, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, you know they have people on the ground in Grosley saying it was their plan. Mr. Speaker, they go in Rivermita and Labon and Deramo and Grosley Town and lying bold-faced, saying they were the ones with that plan, Mr. Speaker. The plan always in their head. Mr. Speaker, we know the only plans they had was for 23 islands, Mr. Speaker. The only development in sports was bringing horses and air conditioning, Mr. Speaker. That's what the plans were, Mr. Speaker. They did absolutely nothing about a Northern Divisional Headquarters. Mr. Speaker, there was barely any place to house criminals, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in a constituency that boasts of so many visitors, of the highest population, Mr. Speaker, they were moving the police officers from one place to the other. And they have the gall to come and talk about government and projects and not implementing and destroying, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there was a Grand Riviere Court started, Mr. Speaker, almost 20 years ago, Mr. Speaker. No, 15 years ago, Mr. Speaker. Yes, Mr. Speaker. They came in, they spent 5 years, went into the 6th, Mr. Speaker, And we are completing the Deidre Math record right now in Grosley, Mr. Speaker. They do nothing, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, sometimes I ask myself, what is really going on, Mr. Speaker? And Mr. Speaker, the member for Choiseul spoke about low labor force participation, Mr. Speaker, and I touched on that briefly, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, they cannot even accept the fact that this is the lowest unemployment rate that we've seen in St. Lucia's history, Mr. Speaker. And so, in the quest to somehow delegitimize the figures, they conveniently read. But there's a justification for why things happen the way they do. There's a justification. Mr. Speaker, the transformation that this Minister of Finance has put on the ground, Mr. Speaker, is the explanation. One, Mr. Speaker, there is a trend that is changing as it pertains to young people in St. Lucia. Many young people have come to my office and said to me, Minister, I don't want to go and work there for anybody, you know. I don't want to. I am now prepared to do what I need to do, access the youth economy, access a MSME loan grant, and start my own.
That's the trend. That's the trend.
No. We come in. Mr. Speaker, all information, Mr. Speaker, is a snapshot of time. It's a snapshot of time, Mr. Speaker. And that's a fact. All those indicators are a snapshot of time. And Mr. Speaker, it's a government that is transcending and transforming and changing the way young people operate in this country, Mr. Speaker. It's a government that is encouraging young people to take their talents, take their skills, and turn it into entrepreneurship, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that information is also a snapshot of time, Mr. Speaker. As more young people get involved in a gig economy, Mr. Speaker. More young people are getting involved in a gig economy. They believe that they have more successes by no longer going and look for work for somebody and developing a skill and work on a needs basis, Mr. Speaker. That's a fact. Young people come to the office on Wednesday and say that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, some young people, Mr. Speaker, are re-skilling. Because it's true. They don't understand. They are re-skilling, Mr. Speaker. When you have a government that has pumped money into an MSME program and a youth economy, and young people are sitting there and saying, wow, these are opportunities. Let me take a year and reskill. Let me just tap into that little innate ability to plumb and go to NSDC and learn. Let me take the opportunity to learn a little more about carpentry, Mr. Speaker. That's what they cannot understand. They are reskilling because of the work of this government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the government that has insisted on one university per graduate in every household, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, there are more young people extending their times at school in this country, Mr. Speaker. And that's a fact. More young people are choosing to go to university because the opportunities are being provided by this government, Mr. Speaker. And there are longer periods of education, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I will never forget, Mr. Speaker, the day I sat in my office. A young lady came in, Mr. Speaker, had a very good conversation, and said to me that she is also considering right now staying at home, Mr. Speaker. And I asked, but why is that, Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker, her explanation was that her husband is doing so well in construction. So well in construction. He has so much work that she needs to stay home and take care of the family, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these are things and realities that are happening in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. realities. So when you wonder why labor force participation seems to be, dwindling, and then we have unemployment, there are explanations for that, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, some of us do not want to accept the fact that this country is doing well, and so they will continue to look for every avenue to discredit the work of this government. But Mr. Speaker, I want to say that with this government, we've continued to work hard on behalf of our people, Mr. Speaker. I guess we'll get an explanation for why in July 2021, the terms and conditions with Cage were changed.
Member, you have 15 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Why it was changed, I guess we'll get that information, which depleted the resources there at the National Lottery. It was on the eve of an election, my brother, I don't know. I hope we will explain, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, on a more somber note, Mr. Speaker, please grant me leave to express sincere condolences to the Alexis family on the passing of their mom, Catherine Mommy Cato Alexis, Mr. Speaker. She was an absolute pillar in the constituency, Mr. Speaker. And she's someone that will be truly, truly missed, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it was only a couple of weeks ago we celebrated her 83rd birthday, and I hugged her and I kissed her. And she was so proud, as an original Jog Rosalie, to see this original young man from the constituency, born and bred, become who he's become. I want to say to the Alexis family, thank you for your support. Stay strong. Continue to be there for one another. And we have the Deputy Secretary General in our midst, Honorable Armstrong Alexis. Director, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, yeah, I didn't say for CARICOM, yes, Deputy Secretary General. What's that? CARICOM. For CARICOM, with Deputy Secretary. For CARICOM, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand before you as a very proud Minister of Youth Development and Sport. Very proud, Mr. Speaker. It is a fact that youth amounts to more than 60% of the population of St. Lucia. That is from Grosley in the north to Viewfort in the south, Dennery in the east to Ansler in the west, and all communities and constituencies in between. Mr. Speaker, 65 clubs registered in St. Lucia in terms of football only. 50 registered youth organizations. And Mr. Speaker, they know that this Minister of Youth Development and Sports would do anything to see them flourish, Mr. Speaker. They know that, Mr. Speaker. I'm not perfect, Mr. Speaker, by any stretch of the imagination. My ministry is far from perfect as well. But we continue to punch above our weight, Mr. Speaker, as we seek to continue to develop this great nation, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, allow me to once again thank all the people of Grosley for their support. This Prime Minister has ensured that some of the basic issues are being dealt in this financial year. The people of Labon, who the Prime Minister met months before the election and promised them that they were going to get their land, Mr. Speaker. These people who have been on their lands for more than 30 years, Mr. Speaker, are finally going to get their lands under this administration, Mr. Speaker. The same in Deramo, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the same in Rivière-Mita, Mr. Speaker, and Montsepa, these areas with crown lands, Mr. Speaker. This is happening under this administration, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank all the people of Grosley, including the 4 main polling areas, Grosley Town and all the communities therein, Edgewater, Cap Estate, Massad, Casaba, Beausejour, Rodney Bay, Rodney Heights, Ragery, Moshi and all the communities within that quarter, Labon, Deramo, Monsitor, Tidofe, Rivière-Mita, Lafay, Marguerite, Ravin-Macoc, Moshi proper, Kaimaje, Moulava, Karef, Grand Rivière, and the other 11 main communities within, including Vesikwi, White Rock, Postaway, Asu Canal, Piat, Monnier, Granivet Proper, Montsepa, Inglewood, Degazo, and Corinth, Marisil, Bois, which is the most densely populated area in the entire OECS. Communities from Boyan Drive, Corinth Estate, where the honorable member lives, Emerald Development, Nobe, Marisil, Bonnet, Tuya, Monjuro, Bois, Sugar City, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, if you were keeping count, 45 communities in constant need of attention by their humble servant, Mr. Speaker. But I love all of them, Mr. Speaker. And I would do anything in my power to split myself in 45 for all of them, Mr. Speaker. And they know that. In their heart of hearts, even those on the other side admit that they know that this is a hard-working member of Parliament for Groseley, Mr. Speaker. They know that. Even when they call and they don't get me, when they get me, they say, boy, you really working, eh? They admit it, Mr. Speaker. So while some profit the opportunity, while you work so hard with a government to provide a better future for them and their family,
For their father too.
they go around and espouse and lie to their faces about what's happening in this community, Mr. Speaker, in this country. They go door to door to your families and they say the most untruth to try to bring back the former Prime Minister who did nothing for them, Mr. Speaker. Nothing.
That's not nice.
They go through the length and breadth of the community, Mr. Speaker. Untruth after untruth, Mr. Speaker. And they act as if they are different from the previous member from Groseley, while they do the same thing. They act as if they're different from the former Prime Minister, but they surreptitiously do the same things.
Like Bradley.
They surreptitiously endorse the same things that we rescued them from, Mr. Speaker.
Bradley.
They go throughout the length of breath while you are working, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, I am proud to be part of a constituency of thinkers, Mr. Speaker. They know the truth, Mr. Speaker. They know who they voted for, Mr. Speaker. So I thank all of them for their support over the last financial year, and I look forward to continuing the good work in this financial year, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I unwaveringly support this appropriation bill put forward by the member for Castries East. Forward ever, backward never. I thank you.